Okay, if you were absent in class the other day, you probably missed the run-through that I did on how to format your essay into MLA formatting and how to create a works cited list. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that now. This is an example of an essay that has not been put into MLA formatting. So first thing I want to do is select all the text, and change it to Times New Roman and 12-point font and double space. You're going to do that by using this button that has a little up-down arrow. Click double, and then as you can see, there are too many lines between these paragraphs. With MLA formatting, we do not skip lines, so I'm going to indent each paragraph and then take out the extra line. Indent and then take out the extra line. So I just need to go through and do that to each of these paragraphs. Now that I have fixed the lines, I need to insert a heading. The heading goes in the upper left-hand corner on the very first line, and the first thing first is your name. Capitalize your name, then my name. Make sure to put Mrs. Aceto with a space between the period and my last name. On the next line, you're going to put ERWC, which is the name of our class. And on the last line, you're going to put the day that the assignment is due. Today is the 27th. We are in September. Make sure to spell out the entire month and put the full 4 numbers of the year. Enter down to the next line for your title. Titles in MLA format always need to be centered, so I'm going to use my center alignment button and put my title. You need to pick a unique title, and you need to make sure to capitalize the first letter of each word because a title is a proper noun. The only thing you don't have to capitalize is the word the, or of, or at. Next, I'm going to insert a header. You can get into your header by double-clicking up here, but we need to format a page number. So before we go and get into our header, let's go to Insert, Page Numbers. We're going to select this first option because it puts the page number in the upper right-hand corner and it starts at page 1 on the first page. Once our cursor is into the header, we need to move it to the left side of the number because it needs to have our last name first. So go ahead and type your last name. Make sure to put a space between your name and the number, and then select the header and change it to Times New Roman 12-point font. Then, if you scroll down, you will see that not only does it take your last name, but it also counts the page. So far, so good. What you want to do now is create a works cited list. So put your cursor at the very end of your essay and enter down till you get to a fresh page. You have to be at the very top and on the left side margin. So it's a good idea to backspace once you get to the next page to make sure that you know you're at the right spot. Once you're at the top of the page, you're going to start your new works cited list. First things first is a title. So go ahead and click the center alignment button again and title it Works Cited. No matter how many works you've cited, you always have to write Works Cited. Enter down and then backspace. You want your cursor to be all the way on the left-hand side. At this point, if you go to the MLA formatting PowerPoint that I attached to the final assignment, you'll be able to see how to create a citation for a website article. But you really don't have to do it by hand because if you have the URL, you can use a tool right here in Google Docs. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. First things first, you want to go to Tools and then click where it says Citations. You'll see the little quotation marks. It'll open up the citation tool. It defaults to MLA, which is good, and you're just going to click Add Citation Source. From here, we need to click the source type. It's a website, and we access it by website, so it asks us for the URL. The URL for the original article is actually on assignment 2.7. You can see that here, and it is posted in Google Classroom. So you just have to click the link and click copy and paste it into the tool. Now, let's say you didn't know that you could go to assignment 2.7, you would simply have to Google the title and the author, and it would come up pretty quick. And then you could just copy the URL right out of your browser. But we don't need to do that because it's linked. So once I have pasted my URL, I'm going to click search. I can see that it comes from the right spot. I'm going to click continue and add source. Now I have a perfectly formatted citation, and I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it. Now, it's not quite perfect yet because obviously it's not formatted properly. If you were to paste without formatting, and for example, if you were to click paste without formatting, you see how Institute for Family Studies is supposed to be in italics? You want to make sure that you get all of that formatting correct. So that's why I just click paste. And then I can just change the formatting myself. So I know that it needs to be Times New Roman and 12-point font. At this point, it's almost perfect, but it doesn't have the hanging indent. This is something that people get a little bit confused on how to create, so I'm going to show you how to do that. The only thing that you need is this alignment tool on the ruler. You should be able to see this ruler at the top of your screen, and if you can't, you need to go to View, Show Ruler, because you can't do this without that. Then you're going to click the alignment key. This is this little upside down triangle, and you're going to drag it to 0.5. You'll notice that both lines get indented and we only want one. So there's a little rectangle on top of the upside down triangle. That's the first line indent, and we want to drag it back to 0 because we want the first line to be all the way to the left, but we want the second line to be indented to 0.5. And now we have our hanging indent. Like any good student, I'm going to go back through and I'm just going to check to make sure my essay has everything it needs. One thing I'm noticing in this essay is that I forgot to put parenthetical citations. So every time I quote the article, I need to also give credit to the author. So I'm going to put my cursor right after the quotation mark, and if I use the citation tool and I just click Cite, you can see that it throws a parenthetical citation right in there. And all I have to do is just move my period so that it's after the parentheses. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to do that for every single one. So I click Cite, I have my parenthetical citation, and then I just have to move my period. Move my period, click Cite, add my period back. Now, because the author's name is so short and we actually have an author name, parenthetical citations for this is really, really quick. You could easily just type that in or copy and paste it a few times, but having this citation tool is really, really helpful, and the more that you learn how to use it, I think the faster you're going to be when we have to do MLA formatting. My next step would be to read my essay out loud to make sure that I catch any grammar errors and then turn it in. Make sure that you turn in your peer review worksheet today because that is the way that I'm going to be grading your essay. I can't grade it without it. If you have any questions, you know where to find me.